Since its quick rise to fame in the late 90s, becoming a pop culture mainstay for decades to come, there have been a countless number of SpongeBob SquarePants video games dedicated to the iconic Goofy Goober himself. With the new Patrick Star game having just been released, we thought that this would be a great time to have a look at the top 10 best SpongeBob games to have ever been released. But of course, just before we do go into the video, if you do like this type of content and you would like to see some more top 10s, be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course, like this video. And with all that said, let's just get straight into it. These are the top 10 best SpongeBob SquarePants games to have ever been released. Number 10, SpongeBob SquarePants The Yellow Avenger. In SpongeBob SquarePants The Yellow Avenger, SpongeBob lives his dream of acquiring the powers of his and Patrick's favourite superheroes. Tasked with defeating villainous foes like the Atomic Flounder and Man Ray, SpongeBob must bypass obstacles in order to save the citizens of Bikini Bottom. Any loyal fan of the show knows that some of the best episodes include the iconic duo of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, showcasing their shenanigans alongside their biggest Spongy fan. This platformer challenges the player to obtain specific items and bring them to another area to solve problems, although unfortunately, the game can feel like a bit of a chore after a while because of the backtracking and lack of direction given while trying to find specific items. Number 9, SpongeBob's Atlantis SquarePantis. This game does have an interesting title for several reasons, namely because of the two ports that were constructed by different developers. While developer Altron made the version for handhelds, such as Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS, Blitzgame created it for the Wii and the PS2. One of the most memorable TV musical episodes due to how weird it was, Atlantis SquarePantis, was the obvious inspiration for this game. The title had enjoyable mechanics that corresponded with each other's characters' unique skill set, like Mr. Krab sucking up money and using it against enemies. This game though fell victim to the levels that lacked inventiveness, but made up for this with its unique situations, like being able to zap Atlantis as Plankton. Multiplayer mode even allowed 2 players to control a character while completing the story, something that fans wish to see more often. Number 8, SpongeBob SquarePants Creature from the Krusty Krab. Creature from the Krusty Krab follows SpongeBob, Patrick, and Plankton as they fight through their nightmares in a 3D platforming adventure like no other. While going through these strange SpongeBob SquarePants characters' even weirder dreams, there are racing segments in which the player must ride over pits, and even some flying levels to take down huge evil monsters. Like Atlantis SquarePantis, Blitzgame developed the non-handheld version, while WayForward Technologies and AWE Games did the Nintendo DS and PC ports. Creature from the Krusty Krab included a slew of gameplay types with unique designs that embodied the sleeping characters' creepy nightmares and heroic dreams, each of them taking turns as playable heroes. Having 3 different endings for each character though was a nice touch, along with the solid motion controls and combo moves that made the minigames pretty fun. Number 7, SpongeBob's Truth or Square. As one of the best kids cartoons from the 2000s, it's hard to forget the confusing Truth or Square special episode that aired in 2009, or the game that followed suit. SpongeBob's Truth or Square lets players travel through SpongeBob's memories to visit locations like Salty Spittoon and Jellyfish Fields as they search for the missing Krabby Patty formula just in time for the restaurant's anniversary. Throughout 10 levels, SpongeBob can morph into objects or soak up water to squirt at Plankton's robots, using abilities like Propeller Spin and Spatula Slam. These creative ways of attacking gave that game the charm that perfectly aligned with the entertaining elements of the show, and by using coins, SpongeBob's outfit and home furniture could even be upgraded. Not only that, but the co-op mode made it possible for friends to play as Plankton or SpongeBob while solving puzzles to unlock new areas. Number 6, SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. A lot of the fans will never forget the Flying Dutchman from one of the SpongeBob SquarePants scariest episodes, which holds many similarities with the plot of SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. Made for the Game Boy Advance, GameCube, and PS2, this game is great at allowing players to explore various areas while finding ways to weaken the Flying Dutchman. To do so, players can choose a customizable party of the usual selection of SpongeBob characters, each holding a cool key skill to use against the ghoul. Players also need to complete tasks for the citizens of Bikini Bottom and collect neat gadgets within the levels, like Sandy's Tree Dome, to strengthen their abilities. Number 5, Drawn to Life SpongeBob SquarePants Edition. Anything but relaxing, the puzzle platformer game, Drawn to Life SpongeBob SquarePants Edition, utilized the episode Frankendoodle to create a 2D side-scrolling platformer reliant on the player's drawings. Released for the Wii, but an absolute hit on the Nintendo DS due to the use of the handheld stylus, the goal of the game is to defeat Doodle Bob while playing as Doodle Patrick. In terms of customization, the sky is the limit, since players can scribble up their own foes, platforms, allies, and more. There are also collectible tokens that are used to upgrade the player's handcrafted starfish sketch. The game's distinct, innovative feel is what makes it one of the best SpongeBob SquarePants games. 4, SpongeBob SquarePants Light Camera Pants. This is a game that every SpongeBob fan should play at least once. Inspired by the Mario Party game series, this title is made up of super fun and interesting multiplayer minigames to enjoy playing with friends. While developed in 2005, its graphics still hold up quite well to this day. Going head to head, players partake in several minigames like racing each other to make meals at the Krusty Krab, playing music and fishing, in hopes of being chosen for a role in a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy TV release. On top of this, players can customize episodes in the director feature, adding even more variety to the gameplay while perfectly mimicking the humor and style of the TV show. Number 3, SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake. When SpongeBob and Patrick attain a magical wish-granting mermaid's tear bubbles, they grant everyone's wishes to the point of tearing the fabric of the universe. Filled with some of SpongeBob's and Patrick's funniest moments, this game can be played on the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, or PC. To save Bikini Bottom and its inhabitants, the dynamic duo must listen to the mermaid's directions and leap through interdimensional portals to the spectacular Wish Worlds. Players must compete against enemies, find their friends, and gather magic jelly in order to mend the universe back together. The game's imaginative game mechanics make each level pretty special, turning into a 2D side-scroller at some points, while letting characters transform into bizarre things at others. Most of all, playing the game feels like having a front row seat at a well-made SpongeBob special. Number 2, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Arguably one of the best games based on a cartoon movie, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game is built of 18 levels that just about mirror the events of the movie to a T. This game was developed by 3 different studios for every 6th generation video game console and was ironically released weeks before the movie. Playing as SpongeBob and Patrick plays adventure across Bikini Bottom to try and find King Neptune's stolen crown and save the world. While journeying about levels, Goofy Goober tokens and Manulus points are collected to use towards upgrading abilities like health or SpongeBob's karate spin attack. However, the best part of the game is the driving platform stages, where players get to control the Krabby Patty vehicle from the movie and slide using a bathtub. The levels are smooth and fun as they are challenging, with humor oozing from every corner of the game. Number 1, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. One of the best feel-good games of 2020, fans couldn't contain themselves when SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated was announced 17 years after the original title was released on the GameCube. On every 8th generation console, SpongeBob and Patrick go on an adventure to stop Plankton's reign over Bikini Bottom by destroying robots and collecting socks to unlock different areas. Like Super Mario 64 but with SpongeBob, the game is a perfect example of a classic 3D platformer with an overwhelming amount of variety in each level and charming collectibles that are a testament of how lovingly crafted the title was back in 2003. Retaining the TV show's outlandish comedy style and vibrant landscapes, the best friends forever are gifted diverse movesets as well as weapons that effortlessly fit their personalities. And so there you pretty much have it. Those were the top 10 best SpongeBob games to have ever been released of all time. So what did you think of our list? Do you agree? Or perhaps that you feel there was a SpongeBob game not included that should have been on this list? If so, do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I would love to hear them. And of course, not forgetting that if you do like this type of content and you would like to see some more top 10s, be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course, like this video. I'll also leave some more top 10s at the end of this video if you would like to check them out. Thanks very much for watching guys, and I will see you all next time.